point and the beat and the step and the snaps of everybody there is. She is Mother Africa. Mother Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming today. My presentation will be on the African diaspora. I will specifically be talking about the African diaspora to the Americas. African diaspora defined. So diaspora comes from the Greek, meaning scattering or dispersion, mass dispersion of people during the transatlantic slave trade. Scattered population with a common origin in a smaller geographic area. Movement from Africa to the Americas, Europe, Asia, the Caribbean, and the Middle East. The main focus today will be the Americas and the Caribbean. The Black Atlantic happened from 1500 to 1800. Slavery existed actually long before the Europeans and the Africans ever encountered. It actually dates back to ancient civilization, all the way from Egypt to Mesopotamia. Slavery existed in Africa long before the Europeans came to the land. However, it was not based on race, nor was it brutal and as horrifying as the enslavement under European hands. In the Europeans' mind, the acquisition of slaves is central to the acquisition of European wealth. New ships, technology, and weapons allowed Europeans to transform slavery into a business far crueler and far larger than the Africans had ever done. Through this, they dehumanized an entire race. How do you dehumanize an entire race? You erase their genealogy, you erase their cultural identity by getting rid of their language, by getting rid of their religion or their spirituality, by getting rid of their philosophies, their music, and styles of dance. Despite the brutal and harsh conditions of slavery, Africans and African Americans still very much flourish. Food. There's a quote that says, "The hand of the African in the pot transformed the taste of the pot." Slave owners often fed their slaves based upon the region that they came from. So that was usually things like corn, rice, yams, kalalu, sorghum, things that pretty much existed in Africa, lots of roots, vegetables, lots of leafy vegetables. Some plantations had provision grounds where they had to grow food for the whole plantation. However, most of it went to the slave owners and their families. So food for them was basically for survival. Slaves often used some of the hunting and fishing skills that they had in Africa, and they hunted for fish and crabs. In the lower South Carolina region, slaves had broken rice or rice that couldn't be sold. Africans who actually came from the Senegambia region of West Africa to New Orleans brought okra. Gumbo is the West African word for okra. Africans and African Americans took survival food and they turned it into a delicacy. And here we have a picture of what some of the slaves actually ate. It was 3 salt herrings a week, a salted cured meat, which was usually pork, and then it was either rice or cornmeal. And then we just have some pictures of the food that slaves developed. So yams and rice, jambalaya, gumbo, which is something that's very popular in New Orleans. Over here, you have something called kala akongri. Kala akongri is black-eyed pea fritters. And then you have something called hop and john, which is usually black-eyed peas, tomatoes, and okra. And then you usually eat it with rice. Dancing. The drums are the canvas, and the women are the painters. So dancing in Africa served multiple purposes. It served religious purposes, social purposes, work purposes, and masquerade purposes, and also purposes to honor the elders. African dance formations were usually things like a dance team using a formalized floor pattern, a group using a free flow floor pattern, a group using a formation from which solo dancers emerged to display their individual skills, and the performance of a solo dancer, which was usually in honor of a ruler, a ritual, a specialist, a herbalist, or a comic entertainer. And they were often supported by groups of musicians, and the musicians would usually play drums. This is called the djembe. It's made out of wood and goat skin, and they usually play this type of drum. This is called a ras. It's a smaller drum with a little stick, and you take it and you rub it in your hands like this, and it makes a sound. This is called the karimba, aka the thumb piano, which they would play with their thumbs. It's also known as the African xylophone. And this is a rain stick, and it was used usually like this, to make like the rapid rain moving sound. All of these dances had a great influence on the modern dances we see today. So for instance, ballet. Ballet actually is an art form that was heavily influenced by the tribe of Dakar and Conakry, a dance where the dancer moves their arms forwards and backwards in a circular motion and rapidly moves their legs up and down on the tips of their toes. The Jamaican dance called whining is also linked to the fertility dances of the Ashanti people. Willow Smith's song, Whip My Hair, is actually linked to the Oromo tribe's head twisting in Ethiopia. And I have some examples of each one. So here we have Willow Smith with her song, Whip My Hair Back and Forth. So what I want you to pay attention to is the whipping motion that she actually makes with her head and her hair. And then we're going to compare it to the Ethiopian tribe. Now, we're going to look at the Ethiopian tribe. This is the Oromo tribe from Ethiopia. So now here we see similarities between what Willow was doing and what this lady was doing right here. The neck twisting and the head twisting and the flailing of the hair. Now this is Africa's Matimbo, which is called African ballet. And this actually is linked to what we know as modern ballet from the French and Italian perspective. Now we're going to look at a snippet of the Nutcracker. Now, you can see the similarities in the width as which they kept their legs. You can also tell that they were both on their tippy toes, even though like the Africans were doing a faster style of dancing. You can see the same idea of moving the arms up and down to maintain balance and so forth. Okay, so thank you for your time. That's the end of my presentation.
Do you have any questions for your presenter? And also please remember to take out your cell phones and evaluate her for me. There is the URL that we need you to go to, those of you that have one. And questions for her, please.
What inspired you to research this topic?
Well, I think a lot of African Americans, we don't know that much about our history because it's not taught to us in school. So, I mean, it took me until getting into college to even know what African diaspora was, to even know that my people had a lot to do with music and dance and literature in the United States of America. And I think it's important that every African American should know where they come from, you know, and what their ancestors have done, you know, and how it's affected them in their personal lives.
thank you so much for being here. The last session I think comes in here after this one. So you may, if you would like to stay to hear the other one, I'll find another room. You may so.
Yeah, or maybe Bob, yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh, there's a camera right there.
What do you have a number? Huh? What do you have? I mean, 4 life choices. No,
You have straight tech?
yeah, I have straight tech, and I told the group, I was like, I kinda know how to play bass, and like, oh, we wanna play this song, and I'm like, hey, play bass for it.
Are you going to be presenting it here now?
Yeah, the music is in here now, yeah.
And so I emailed Dr. Green, I was like, yo, can I borrow bass, please?
Oh, wait, there was a thing.
Some song about.
Where did
Some Nolly.
I know, right? Girl, I had to copy it for you.
I never.
What was that bass?
Introduce yourself.
Well, there's like.
No, actually,
Yeah.
no, you did.
No.
Wow.
Your name
Yeah.
is Nico.
I just heard that it was interesting. Yeah, mine's that too.
So like he's doing it, unless you want one, if we just do two, both, I'll present like the two right there together. But then if one person wants to do the work you do, I feel like it's fine, everybody just pick what they want. So he's gonna be spinning it, and then I feel like he'll so he can do the count.
There's a little bit, not a lot. There will be
Shut your mouth. No. I just wanted to get A was the only one that was. Well, A was you can either sign it by Google or the computer and then pull it up, or have like okay, here it is.
That's probably the serial number or something.
We already.
You in the room?
Carson, have you taken string tech yet?
I want to actually learn bass.
Yeah. Actually, I'll be able to take secondary lessons.
Probably.
Yes.
Because honestly, I think I would like to know.
Yeah.
Like, I had this for like a week. Because but after like practicing,
I like to play horn or that.
College campus.
It's for French horn's fun. I'm good. I can say it's rip on some horn.
yeah, I mean,
I know.
Roommate.
I took brass tech 1, that was like the easiest.
Oh, yeah, I already know it.
Yeah, I was French horn the entire time.
Yeah.
That's really helpful because you were there when I came and you were there. Oh, right. Hey, Taylor, so when I embedded the videos, when you click on them, it might open up a new page or something. You're going to hit the escape button and then restart the presentation. Well, there, push. Actually, here, push on the J. Yep, good. Push on the one that embedded videos. Wait, go down. Oh crap, go back to the slide where it's talking about being. Go back to the, yeah, that, what the heck? That did not.
Just kidding.
I'm sorry, I've done the goof. Perfect, awesome.
I'll watch too.
I'll try to.
Food is easy to get.
I'll tell you in 2 seconds. Taylor, you can sing for it. Yeah, Taylor, go ahead. You take it. No, we'll give you the words. You just start singing.
Right.
Class like choral. Oh my gosh. We can't start. We can't.
Alright, play some Beethoven, Kevin. Do it. That's not Beethoven.
Play Barracuda.
Come on, smoke on the water. Play smoke on the water.
Kristen.
Come on.
Does not sound right.
We were sitting in the strings, I just like
Taylor.
the bow just kind of like skidded on it, and I was like,
The girl on
oh my god.
super athletic, red to Miranda,
Oh, that sounds really short. Well, I don't use that string, so I'm
Kristen, I'm it was Miranda.
literally, like this entire time, I'm literally only playing like 5-3-1, 4-3-1, 5-1. So like, I only need to know those few notes.
I've never heard it. I've never
I looked
heard
up on
it.
Facebook.
No, I'm gonna look at the thing and see if that's the last name. Miranda.
Okay.
Actually, the song is really just the vocal
Kristen.
vocal track. I
What
don't
do you think
know.
it was? Marissa?
Anywho, Marissa was like, hey, put a bass to
She
it.
thought that
Oh, she thought she was in our group?
I just thought there was two
And
different.
me, being the idiot I am, was like, oh, I'm in string tech too. I kind of know how to play a little bit of bass.
I've never heard her name called though, so it's like,
I have to really wonder if like,
Did you take string tech
someone
one
knows
last
any
semester?
other
Nope.
names
Where did you
besides
take it?
Adam?
I took brass tech 1 last
I mean,
Oh,
and then next semester I'm
And
taking
Togo.
marching
She knows
tech
Togo.
and woodwind tech.
so,
oh.
yeah.
But yeah,
She
no,
knows
they
you. She
don't
always
have
calls you
they don't have
that.
tech 1
Because
classes
we had her
until
last
spring.
Yeah.
Tony and
And
Meg.
string tech 1 is
Tony
gonna
and
fit the
Tony
too,
and
so.
Meg. come here, her presentation is about to start.
20 bucks says their title is purposely misspelled just because it's about dyslexia.
That's actually kind of clever. How much clever?
I'd walk in and be like,
I was like, we're about to start.
Then stop when we get to your slide. Hey, I'm good. I don't care. Oh, she's a little fast. That's okay. This is actually one of my they
She's tired.
She's probably just
Try like watching her fall asleep. Probably till about Monday. So we got this.
I have so much stuff.
Same.
Like tomorrow can't even like wrap it up next week. For me,
I mean, it is. It's like mainly this one.
yeah,
Actually,
and
so much stuff to do this weekend.
you're immersed
Oh, you have?
then you guys are, and it's like performing like at the end of the
Dar?
No, I had these all.
She did mention that, and I was like, I guess. Hey, should we have the door open so people like know they're actually coming here?
I'll go.
That's why I think a lot of
Maybe like
people.
you throw up in, play a little tune.
Yeah.
That's why I think
See,
not
what
too.
we did for Harvard, like, we shut the door midway.
She'll know it.
You're like, no, it's okay. You don't have to come in here.
Because I feel like that might be why there weren't too many people at Janika's or whatever. Her
Yeah, I'm
presentation.
really getting here so quick because I can make
Because-
sure that last. Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
Same.
and they're
Because like the
I
door
don't
was
think they were
closed.
there. I don't think they were at the guest speaker. That's why.
Okay.
we can give them like.
Yo!
Yeah, we'll give them some time because a lot of people are still doing their presentation.
Yeah, and plus, you know,
3 minutes, right? 2?
we're not
Yeah,
gonna
you guys
run.
still have like 30 minutes to start.
We're the last present.
We'll
We're
just
like the last
start. We'll just
block.
start. We'll just.
Close the door, table and see. People.
And then people can just flood in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people
we're
come in and stuff.
Hold out the first.
Directing people.
Away.
Just take on like.
Everybody's gonna be like, what's your class? What's your survey?
Out that way, yeah.
Yeah, what's your
It'll
survey?
go to the end. Yeah. So we got it like.
You got it at the end? Oh, look at you go.
Wait. Wait, just do it.
I'm gonna say, can we just do it now?
Go for it. I'm gonna give you really bad rating. I'll leave it up there until everybody walks in.
No, I'm just kidding.
Watch, there'll be like 4 people, it'll be like 0. I thought the presenters were engaging. Engaging. I don't know what is.
We're also gonna be doing this for at the
Hey,
end of
guys.
the conference.
Are you as entertained by this as I am?
I think yes.
It sounds like one of those
A
instruments.
slide whistle.
Yeah.
When we were practicing it,
Let me see if I remember.
when we were practicing it last night, I was just like, hey, Marissa.
Let me see if I remember it.
It was actually a Snapchat video of you doing
There's
it.
the outcast. And the one music. I was originally